over here. It is an AutoCAD software or rather Autodesk company है, AutoCAD tool है. AutoCAD का ही vertical version है Civil 3D 2025. Commands और जो भी requirements है या जो usage है, it is as similar to AutoCAD only, and it helps in the infrastructure designing part, that is roads, bridges and railways network. Right? ये थोड़ा brief है Civil 3D software के बारे में. Civil 3D software पहले it was known as AutoCAD Civil 3D. Now it is known as only Civil 3D. And जो current version है अभी जो अप्रैल में रिलीज हुआ है, मार्च एंड अप्रैल में, that is Civil 3D 2025. एंड आज के जो हम वेबिनार में देखेंगे उसमें व्हाट इज न्यू इन दिस टिपिकल वर्जन, वो हम उस पर फोकस करेंगे ज्यादा आज. A brief about myself. I am Trupti Gandhi. I am a civil engineer by education. I have more than 20 years of experience in the AEC stream, and I am into pre-sales and post-sales support, especially for Autodesk and Bentley products. I take care of the pre-sales, that is the POC of the product, and then after sales support, that is your training, implementation, adoption, and of course, query resolution. I take care of all of these things. A bit about my company. I am representing Sciences Tech Limited. We have offices all over India, and we are into other geographies also, like North America. We are stationed. Then we have around 1,200 employees worldwide. Our major chunk of my business comes from the services side. We are focused in the services sector more. We are a part of Meghe Group. That is Central India located. Meghe Group is a well-known name in the field of, especially for education. We have a number of colleges and schools. Then we are also into infrastructure, healthcare, spinning yarns, banking and finance, and of course technology services. And sciences is the what you can say software part or rather technological services arm of Meghe Group. A bit more about my company. As I said, we are technology partners. We are selling products of Esri, Hexagon, Autodesk, Maxar, Aveva, Biotech, Bentley, and of course OSI. We are placed, or rather, we are giving services to many of the government organizations also, like MRSEC, MIDC, SIDCO, MCGM, and all. Plus, we are serving the corporates also, and especially in the services sector, we have a large government presence. In India, we have offices at Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Nagpur, and of course Lucknow, also Hyderabad. And we are developing a new office in Bangalore. Also, as I said earlier, also we have geographical presence in North America. Let me move ahead. These are the segments that we cover, especially in our services sector: water, energy, transport, and of course AEC, wherein we have done quite a number of projects. Recently, 3 years back, we have acquired Allegro, that is the services industry or a services specialist in the manufacturing industry. And here in this arm, we are focusing on the mobility part. So we have all these details for the commercial vehicles, off-highway vehicles, passenger cars, two-wheelers. These are things are taken care of in the mobility division. A few of the credentials are mentioned over here. We are into water sector, energy sectors, transport, AEC, and of course mobility engineering services, which has been recently added to sciences. Major focus, as you can see, the numbers are talking about themselves, like we are into water for almost 20.36 million population, impacted across 4650 bridges and 200 towns. So huge water network that we have worked upon. Second comes the energy systems division, which is almost like 10 million consumer indexing, that kind of thing we have done. Transport, of course, you can see the details are over here, like number of highways and all. We have gone for surveys and road asset management that is taken care of. In AEC sector, we have been working with the point clouds from scan to model, that is BIM, rather point cloud to BIM, that is what the idea is. So we have been working in that sector also. Few of these credentials for the company. Let us move ahead. Now let us see what is Civil 3D 2025. Those who are actually working on this software are very well versed with what Civil 3D can do. We can create First of all, we can create the 3D ground model. We can generate the contours. We can generate the reports of the surfaces. We can go for quantity calculations of cut and fill. We can go for grading over here. It has fantastic grading tools. We can go for grading over here. Then next we can go for highway designing, alignment as we call it. We can go for alignment designing, then we can go for profile generation, where we can create the FRLs for particular grade, for particular type of road it is accordingly. We can move to go for cross sections. We can generate the 3D model, especially wherein like 3D model of the road corridor. I can have various assemblies. I can go for transition from one assembly to the other. We can go for quantity calculation, which material will be required, how much, what kind of, like if I have a layers in the road, what kind of material and how much material will be required, that we can go for quantity calculations over there. These kinds of tools the Civil 3D part does. Now what happens after over the years, Civil 3D has evolved, and we have been talking about like going for visualization. We have been talking about going ahead with what next. So over the period of years, we have been that seen that Civil 3D is getting more and more integrated with, first of all, InfraWorks. InfraWorks is a visualization tool, or you can say a conceptual planning tool, which helps in the uh, conceptual planning part. And we have very good collaboration with InfraWorks. So I can share my data from Civil 3D to InfraWorks, InfraWorks from Civil to Civil 3D. That way it works. Same way over the period of years, now you'll see in this presentation what new things we have been adding to make this software more robust, as well as industry uh, may it should come as a first number. For that, what all things the Autodesk team has added, let's have a look. First is the multi-baseline corridor setup. What is multi-baseline corridor setup? When I'm creating a 3D corridor, I need to assign a baseline on which my road corridor will be built up. So for that purpose, I need to have a baseline which can help me in the uh, direction of how the road is moving. What is the how what are the curves there? What is the required data for corridor? Here, this is where multi-baseline corridor setup will help me. Let us have a look once and then we can discuss. Those who are not aware about the Civil 3D interface, this is how the Civil 3D interface looks, as good as AutoCAD. Nothing new about it. You can see over here, this is the tool space wherein all the details of whatever work I do will be visible. Jessa AutoCAD may we have ribbons, same way we have the ribbon over here in the Civil 3D interface. Very, very helpful interface, because those who know AutoCAD can easily adopt this. So it is a very good tool, very efficient tool for new learners also. Now, when I'm saying about the multi-baseline corridor setup, what is it? With this improvement, with this addition, designers will have to, they don't have to wait through the pick and click process. जैसे अगर मुझे कोई corridor design करना है, तो I have to go and select a particular line. Okay, this will be my baseline. Now, for this purpose, I have to be sure whether this is a baseline or there are some other 4 roads over there, and I want to finalize which one I want to do. So in that case, what we have a proper dialog box for it over here, which will help me in doing that. Okay. Let me, are you able to hear the audio of it? If anybody can give me the feedback. Can you tell me if anyone can confirm whether the audio is visible? Can you hear the audio, please? If anyone can. Okay, fine. Yes, sure. No, not my voice. I am asking whether you can hear the video audio. If anyone can confirm, please. Okay, just a minute. I'll share again so that. Please confirm one more time.
Face allows you to select multiple alignments and feature lines from the design file simultaneously. When you choose an alignment, you will be prompted to select the design profile
Can you hear
and the
now?
assembly. You can also pick the alignment, profile, or main assembly from the drop-down list. The selection
I'm
filter
afraid this is the
allows you to
maximum
sort feature
volume that it is
lines by
supporting.
name, style, and layer.
Let me
You
see.
can select all or specific feature lines with this tool. Using the Shift key, you can select multiple feature lines at once and determine the required
If this video has any sound restrictions.
assembly. With the selection tool, you can pick multiple items in the drawing all at once. You have the option to apply names to
I'm
any
afraid this is the
unnamed feature
maximum
line.
volume we can have. What I'll do is I'll try to add in between whatever, like, to make you understand. So the first part is the multi-baseline corridor over here. Multi-baseline corridor, what it will do is it will help me in choosing, or rather जब मुझे when I had to do this exercise before, I had to go and physically choose it. Here I don't have to go for
New
that. It will
features in
provide me
Civil
with the
3D
guideline with the dialog box, which will help me in choosing that. So instead of wading through the pick and click process while setting the corridor model, जिसमें I have many number of baselines, what I can do is single click में they can now set up the elements in one go. एक बार में I can go and select it, right? And it's a user interface भी they have made it more friendly, so that time is also saved and easy to do. Just have a look.
2025 include a new corridor baseline selection window. The new interface allows you to select multiple alignments and
You can
feature
see over
lines.
here, ये जो dialog box है, this is a new dialog box over here. This allows me to select whatever alignments I want in a single click over here. I can sort it over here. I can select it in with respect to style, with respect to name and everything over here itself. So यहाँ पे मुझे drawing में जाके select करने की जरूरत नहीं है. I can just go and select over here. Easy method, easy way to work on. Just
From
have
the
a look.
design file simultaneously. When you choose new features in
I
Civil
have
3D
to
alignments and feature
go
lines
and
from the design
maybe
file
I have to
simultaneously.
see, this is the corridor and I have to go and select which line I want to add as a baseline, as an alignment which will guide the 3D corridor. So instead of clicking over here, I can just go over here and in this dialog box,
When
I
you
can
choose an alignment,
select
you will
it. I'll just remove the voice. Okay. So यहाँ पर you all can see I have the option of which assembly I want, which profile I want, which alignment I want. Same way, you have the option to sort also by name, by style, by layer, by site. So for example, if I have certain baselines which are of certain name, I can sort them over here easily. They will be available and I can select one of them. So when you're talking on longer projects, there is a lot of confusion between the name of the baselines also. So this will help very much in doing that. It will make the work more easier. You can see name is there, style is there. What all style I want, I can go for that. I can select the layers also, whether which layer I want or which feature line I want. I can select all of them in one go. I don't have to worry about checking it again and doing it. This is a very good feature. Many people who are working on complex project always wanted this. Also, directly with the respect to this window also, I can select it. So this makes my works much more easier. And it will help me in generating the corridor much faster. And you can see over here, it has whatever values we have given, they have accepted it and rebuild the corridor. The corridor is created here with respect to whatever values we have given, right? Next comes the part of corridor system modernization. Many of you must be remembering when we want to give a corridor, sorry, not corridor, drawing coordinate, we had to struggle a lot. We had to search for it and then we have to go to the name of the drawing and go for right click and then give the coordinate system name and all. They have made it much more easier this time. What they have done is they have changed the process of it. Okay, let's just see how it works over here.
The new coordinate system interface makes it easier to assign coordinate systems to your drawing.
Especially to help civil engineers set up this coordinate system fast and of course efficiently. What they have done is they have improved the user interface, making it much more intuitive and of course easier. Here, just have a look how it happens. Now, just I have to write over here this and it will be added. That easy it is. So just GeoCS assign and it will add the
Using the
dialog box
GeoCS
for
assign
coordinate
function,
system
you
adding.
can determine the
Now you can
project
see the
coordinate.
user interface also has changed over here. They have given a very proper user interface. Earlier it was a very older interface which was like struggle to give the details and all.
Based
This
on
has
an
made it
extensive
much more
list.
easier.
You can also assign the vertical datum to accurately control the design elevations.
So
By
here
turning on the
in one
Enable
screen
CS
itself,
support
I
feature,
can go for
you will
all
be
these
able to
details.
assign
Earlier
the
I have
coordinate
to
system
go
and
for two screens
elevation
and
when you import
add
the
it.
DEM
And
file
while
to
adding
create a
DEM
circuit.
file also, if you see over here, DEM is the digital elevation model file that we have to add. This is a DEM file. Here also I can directly go for adding the coordinate system.
The same interface window will appear to allow you to set the coordinate system and vertical datum.
Vertical datum itself will also be added over here simultaneously and work
For your
made easier.
service. These additions expand the library of coordinate systems while making setup and creation more intuitive.
Yeah, this was also the demand of in the Civil 3D forum to improve this coordinate system input.
The new
Next is the Esri ArcGIS base maps. Now, many of you must be aware that as I said, we are integrating more with InfraWorks. Same way, ESRI say we are interacting more also. We are having features like giving the data to ESRI and as well as bringing the data from ESRI. If you are aware, earlier also I had presented one webinar wherein we had talked about for InfraWorks, especially I had done this webinar wherein we talked about GIS connection with InfraWorks. So InfraWorks gives me the option to bring the ESRI data. For example, if I have an ESRI data of the pipe network, I can bring that data in InfraWorks with the complete 3D visualization. I can make the changes in the pipe network. I can change the location of the manholes. I can change the pipe length and all. I can add a few more pipes and structures and send it back also to ESRI. So that kind of integration we are talking about. And the same way, the same integration has been extended to the ArcGIS, to this Civil 3D also. So, especially for the base maps part, what earlier used to happen is when I want to go for the geolocation tool, पहले जब हम लोग geolocation पे काम करते थे, I had to write geolocate on the command line and it would bring the complete image of that particular location. So I would have a hybrid map, I would have a road map, that kind of map I used to have. Now, if you see over here in this case for E3 ArcGIS maps, what they have done is they have added, or rather, they have to help designers and engineers to visualize terrain, streets, and everything. What they have done is they have added 5 easily base maps. So earlier we used to have only the hybrid and road maps, and that's all. But now what they have done is they have added 5 easily base maps, especially to the civil 3D ribbon, wherein I could see the background image. So what they have added is they have added open streets, they have added easily streets, they have added high satellite aerial imagery, and of course light and dark gray maps. This was earlier not there. They have added this in the 2025 version. Let's have a look.
With the coordinate system assigned to the drawing, you can now access the new Esri mapping features.
Yes, this is what I was talking about. You can see over here, Esri OpenStreetMap is there, Esri Imagery is there, and then streets. Esri streets, light gray and dark gray. They were the earlier settings only available. Sorry, these were the earlier settings available. Bing aerial, Bing road, hybrid, and of course map off where when I didn't want to see the image. जिन लोगों को पता नहीं है, the new users I would like to add over here. I can bring the image of anywhere in the world in my drawing, giving the proper coordinate system. So, for example, my data is at 43 north. Accordingly, I can give the coordinate system, and my survey data can be placed above the Bing map image. Bing map is the Microsoft Office Maps solution. So I can place my survey data on the Bing Maps image. So earlier we used to have only these 4 options. Either I can go for map off where the image will not be visible. Either I could go for hybrid where roads as well as the imagery was visible. And then I have road wherein only roads will be visible. And then I have only aerial, that is only image part. So ये पहले था हमारे पास में. Now what we have, they have added 5 more tabs over here to give it much more clarity for understanding. So let's have a look how they appear.
The geolocation tab. You can choose between the aerial view and several street maps.
So these are the different views that you are seeing
This
over
mapping
here,
has high resolution
different street maps and
and will
everything.
provide extensive and accurate details in your drawing.
Now, whatever image location they have, whatever the data, recent images, jitna recent images rahenge, utna you'll have more accuracy in the image also. For example, if it's a rural area, there might be these might be some older photographs who might have some minor discrepancies. Otherwise, they are very latest. Okay, let's move to the next topic.
With the coordinate system,
Next topic, of course, is the favorite one for everyone. That is the Civil 3D performance. Those who are working on the large project will understand there's a lot of uh, what you can say. People demand that the software should work fast. People have been asking for this since long, because working on a highway project or working on a land development project is very, sometimes it becomes a cumbersome job. The file keeps on updating and it takes a lot of time, especially MMS file. What is MMS file is like, anytime a large surface or other large drawing surface file is created in 730, एक MMS file बनती है. Now MMS file can get very large, and in some cases these files can be several gigabytes also, depending on the size of the data. So in the past, the MMS file was saved anytime if the surface was there or the surface was opened also. Even if the drawing file is opened and closed, the MMS file would be saved. So in this, what used to happen that it would take a lot of time. So even though changes were not made, only the file was opened and closed, still the MMS file was saved, and that is why it took a lot of time. And processing power, of course, unnecessary. It was of no use. So now MMS files are only saved when the surface is modified. So if you are working on the surface, then only the MMS file will refresh, or then only the MMS file will be saved. Otherwise, it will not be done. Now, this one change has drastically reduced the profile processing time. Of course, this feedback I will want from you customers, ki how, whether you really feel it has changed or it is the not that drastic. I would like your feedback so that I can convey my feedback to the Autodesk team also. Okay, so please let us see what they mean by this.
you will also notice a significant speed and performance boost in Civil 3D 2025. Civil 3D is faster and more efficient, especially in many common functions, such as opening a file, saving files, regenerating file details, and rebuilding corridor models. The response
You can see over here the response time and drawing regeneration time. With each version, they have tried to bring it down. And 2025 definitely significantly down is there. They are going towards down over here.
time is faster than any previous version, helping you to save time on your projects. This is especially apparent when working with large design files with multiple corridors, extensive pipe networks.
And this is the
and large
corridor
streets.
rebuild time, जिसमें सबसे ज़्यादा time लगता है. You can see over here, like for example, if you see this file size and accordingly 2025 made has come drastically down over here for all the three sizes you can see over here.
MMS files will now only update when changes are made.
This is regarding the MMS file that I have told you earlier also, that MMS file will not be saved every time now. It will be only saved when the surface is changed. Then only it will be required, otherwise it will not be required. So then this is what you can say, getting the work getting improved, or rather time used or time processing time has been reduced drastically. So I would like feedback from your side. Your feedback is very valuable. I would want you to give me feedback whether when you are using 2025 version, please let us know whether this is true. Do you feel if it is feasible, or do you feel it is not drastically improved? Just give me your correct feedback. Right? Let us move ahead now. Of course, corridor transitions. Those who have been working on the earlier versions might be aware of transitions. Transitions are like tools which can help me in moving from, say, a common example I can give is moving from a 2-lane road to a 4-lane road. I need some transition length or some transition for the cross sections. So in this case, there are tools which are available in Civil 3D. So what we were doing earlier was that we were utilizing these tools to get the transitions done. Now in the latest version, that is 2024.1 की बात कर रही हूँ मैं यहाँ पर. What we can do is we can copy transitions also. So we can copy this transitions. कहीं और किसी और corridor में मैंने कुछ transitions लगाए हैं. I can just copy that transition set and bring it to the other corridor and just change the changes as per my requirement. So settings का जो time है वो मेरा उतना बचेगा and I will be able to work faster.
Expanded capabilities for corridor transitions. You now have the option to copy
ये जो आपको स्क्रीन दिख रहा है दैट इज ट्रांजिशन का स्क्रीन है एंड इफ यू सी ओवर हियर आई कैन कॉपी ओवर हियर. ये अलग अलग ट्रांजिशंस अप्लाइड है पर्टिकुलर चेंजेस पे. अलग अलग उनको क्राइटेरियाज भी दिए हुए. ट्रांजिशन टाइप लीनियर दिया हुआ है एंड अलग अलग क्राइटेरियाज भी दिए हुए कौन से चेंजेस से कौन से चेंजेस तक ये ट्रांजिशन है दैट इज गिवन. आई कैन कॉपी फ्रॉम अ सर्टेन चेंज टू सर्टेन चेंज एंड गेट इट placed in the other corridors.
Update as the station values are revised. You can select and copy multiple transition sets at a time. You also have the option to select.
यहाँ से हम लोग बेसलाइन में दूसरा सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि ओके ये बेसलाइन से दूसरे बेसलाइन में कॉपी करना है वो भी कर सकते हैं.
To transition set from one corridor and copy it into a different corridor.
So once I have evaluated my settings कि हाँ मुझे ऐसे transitions चाहिए है, I can just keep them ready and utilize them in other corridors also.
Using the drop-down list. This workflow allows you to save time and increase efficiency when creating transition details in the corridor model. Expanded capabilities for corridor transitions.
Those who are working on corridors might be aware that this is how the corridor appears. These are the triangulations that appear, the way the things are connected. This is like your 3D corridor wherein you can add your cross sections, sub assemblies. Like I have a footpath, I have a curb, I have 2-lane assembly, 3-lane assembly, whatever, and I can create a 3D model. So ये ट्रांजिशन के जो ऑप्शंस हैं ये पहले अवेलेबल नहीं थे. लास्ट 2 years से उन्होंने ट्रांजिशन का ऑप्शन दिया है. पहले मुझे अगर 2-lane से 3-lane रोड बनाना के लिए करना पड़ता था. आई हैव टू क्रिएट 3 different assemblies. One is a 2-lane assembly, other is a 3-lane assembly, and then connect for connecting I had to add another transition assembly. So that has been totally removed from here. That has been taken care of with respect to this command. They had helped us in this way.
You now have the option.
Okay, and sub-assembly. Sub-assembly क्या है? It is a cross section or other sub-assembly. For example, I have a 2-lane road, I have a curb, I have say a footpath. Then this is the cross section or individual parts are known as sub-assembly. And when I complete that one side, I can just copy paste it to the other side to create a complete cross section. Now complete cross section is known as assembly. So हम लोग हमारी खुद की असेंबली भी बना सकते हैं. प्लस वी हैव समथिंग नोन एज सब असेंबली कंपोजर. उसमें भी हम लोग हमारा असेंबली क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. तो जब असेंबली क्रिएट होती है तो देन इट इज नोन एज अ पीकेटी फाइल. So earlier it was a tedious job to create a PKD file and bring it in Civil 3D. Especially bringing in Civil 3D involved a very tedious job wherein I had to add it to the tool palette में मुझे add करना पड़ता था and then I can use it. Now what they have done, they have given us the option to add it in the prospector tab only. So मैं tool space में add कर सकती हूँ and वहां से ही मैं directly काम कर सकती हूँ. ये उसके बारे में है. Let's have a look.
When using custom subassemblies, you now have the option to.
यहाँ पे मेरे पास ऑप्शन है import to drawing, which was not available earlier. We had only one option, import to tool palette. Tool palette मतलब जिसके अंदर मेरे सारे assemblies दिखते वो जगह है. That sometimes it become confusing to utilize the tool palette. But into the drawing मतलब क्या होगा कि डायरेक्ट मेरे ड्राइंग एरिया में अपने आप ही आ जाएगी. So it becomes easier for us to utilize it.
Insert a PKT file directly into the drawing without accessing the tool palette. Once you.
अब अगर मेरे पास में ड्राइंग में अगर आ गई है तो आई हैव दिस प्रॉपर्टीज. जब हमारा ऑटोकैड में प्रॉपर्टीज रहता है, आई कैन मेक ऑल द चेंजेस इन द क्रॉस सेक्शन, दिस इज माई क्रॉस सेक्शन. सो अगर मुझे गटर स्लोप चेंज करना है, अगर मुझे साइड चेंज करना है, अगर मुझे डेप्थ कोई चेंज करना है, आई कैन डू दैट फ्रॉम हियर एंड यूटिलाइज दैट असेंबली डायरेक्टली. अर्लियर मुझे क्या करना पड़ता था, यहाँ पर टूल पैलेट है, उसमें जाके आई हैड टू ब्रिंग दैट असेंबली ओवर इन द ड्राइंग एरिया एंड देन आई कुड मेक द चेंजेस. यहाँ डायरेक्टली ड्राइंग में आने से दैट बिकम्स मच मोर इजियर पार्ट. नाउ I can work on it like
Selected
that.
the custom subassembly to insert. The property dialog box will appear, allowing you to
And
update.
the same will be visible here also. जैसे मैंने ड्राइंग में ऐड किया तो ये टूल स्पेस में आके यहाँ पर I can see that over here. यहाँ देख के I can again make the changes from here also.
The assembly parameters. In Prospector, the new subassembly will display. You can right-click on the custom subassembly to add it to other assemblies or replace subassemblies in the drawing. Civil 3D will prompt you to keep or dismiss target parameters.
एंड साथ में हर एक असेंबली का हेल्प भी रहेगा. सो यू वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड, ओके हमने ये कर्व का असेंबली लिया है, बट व्हाट आर द कंपोनेंट्स ओवर हियर, व्हाट इज ए, व्हाट इज बी, व्हाट इज सी, एवरीथिंग इज विजिबल विद द हेल्प फाइल ओवर हियर. सीखने में बहुत ही इजी है. यू जस्ट हैव टू क्लिक हियर, राइट क्लिक उसको करेंगे नाम पे आप, तो उस पर हेल्प आ जाएगा. हेल्प में आपको सारे डिटेल्स दिख जाएंगे इसके, कि इसके बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन पूरा मिल जाएगा आपको.
Standard subassemblies in the drawing will display under other assemblies in Prospector. You have the same control for these subassemblies, including create new, select, or accessing the assembly help window. These changes give you more options and more control when using subassembly.
Especially these small changes they have made this time is to improve our workflow, to make it much more easier to work upon. That is why they have introduced more focused on the, what you can say, the रोड पार्ट रादर. ये फीचर, ये वर्जन में थोड़ा जो उन्होंने एनहांसमेंट्स दिए, दे आर मोर फोकस ऑन द रोड साइड, बट एट द सेम टाइम दे हैव ट्राइड टू रिड्यूस द टाइमिंग आल्सो. दे हैव ट्राइड टू मेक इट लाइक, अगर आप बड़े जैसे बड़ा कोई कोल फील्ड पे अगर आप काम कर रहे हो, तो दे हैव ट्राइड टू सी की सरफेस अगर आप रिफ्रेश करते हो हर बार ड्राइंग खोलते हो, तो द टाइम शुड बी रिड्यूस. दे हैव एडेड दैट टू दिस. अब अर्लियर वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट द जीआईएस पार्ट, कि जो भी हम लोग आर्क जीआईएस में काम कर रहे हैं उसके बारे में था. सेम वे वन मोर फीचर इज दैट सेव बैक फीचर. जैसे मैंने कुछ काम किया है जीआईएस में, व्हाट आई कैन डू इज आई कैन मॉडिफाई यहाँ पर and I can save it back to AutoCAD, sorry ESRI. That is possible. जैसे ये ESRI का फाइल हमने ऐड किया हुआ है यहाँ पर, एंड इसमें जो भी हम लोग चेंजेस करते हैं, इसमें ऑप्शन है मेरे पास मूव टू ArcGIS लेयर. सो वट एवर चेंजेस आई डू, आई कैन मेक द चेंजेस एंड आई कैन से मूव टू ArcGIS. आई कैन गिव द डेस्टिनेशन कहाँ ऐड करना है उसको, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली इट विल बी एडेड इन द ArcGIS फाइल.
As-built water main information has been moved to an existing ArcGIS layer.
स्पेशली ये हमारे पास में पहले इंफ्रावर्क्स में ऑप्शन था, सिविल 3D में ये ऑप्शन उन्होंने अभी ऐड किया है.
We don't need to update this layer in GIS. By using the Save Back feature, we can update the existing water main GIS layer with the as-built information.
ये स्पेशली GIS लेयर के लिए ऑप्शन है ये, कि I can update that GIS layer also.
This new feature gives the user the flexibility they need when updating GIS data.
Okay, this is a save back feature. Next comes the import layer enhancement. What is import layer enhancement? It is like these layers have been updated when connecting to GIS data, allowing you to use company standards more easily. Let us have a look how it helps. ये डेटा फिर से हम लोग GIS का ही बात कर रहे हैं. We are bringing the GIS data now.
The import layer functions when connecting to GIS data. Under property mapping, you can now map attributes from the existing data you are connecting to.
ये भी पहले ऑप्शन नहीं था हमारे पास प्रॉपर्टी मैपिंग का. लाइक अंडर प्रॉपर्टी मैपिंग we can map attributes to the existing data. So for example, you are connecting to any existing property set data you might be using in your Civil 3D model. In that case, this is like making it easy to use. say company attributes है या नाम है कुछ, तो वो आप उसको यूज कर सकते हैं, और जिससे आपके एरर्स और टाइम भी आपका रिड्यूस हो. ऐसा यू कैन डू इट. उसके लिए स्पेशली ये है.
To any existing property set data you might be using in your Civil 3D model. This gives the user the ability to use company standard attribute names they are accustomed to seeing, which helps to reduce errors
स्पेशली नाम के लिए ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. पहले ये नाम हम लोग चेंज नहीं कर सकते थे, बट नाउ वी कैन डू इट.
and saves time for the user.
सेम नाम जो जैसे हमारे फेमिलियर नेम्स है कुछ, वो इसमें ऑटोमेटिकली वी कैन ऐड इट. Now, this was a major demand. This was a major demand, especially in the Civil 3D Autodesk Community Forum for quite some time. And of course, ये user favorite चीज है जो लोग बहुत दिनों से मांग रहे थे. What was that? That is, you can now connect multiple pipe networks to a single structure. पहले कैसा था कि एक स्ट्रक्चर में एक ही पाइप नेटवर्क के एंटिटीज आ सकते थे. लाइक एक पाइप नेटवर्क में कैसा रहेगा, आपका पाइप्स रहेंगे, मैनहोल स्ट्रक्चर्स रहेगा, तो एक ही नेटवर्क के स्ट्रक्चर्स और एक ही नेटवर्क के पाइप्स आप एक पर्टिकुलर मैनहोल पे कनेक्ट कर सकते थे. नाउ एक सिंगल स्ट्रक्चर पे आप डिफरेंट डिफरेंट पाइप नेटवर्क्स कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं. जस्ट हैव अ लुक.
As a bonus feature enhancement to Gravity Pipes, you can now
ये स्पेशली ग्रेविटी नाइट पाइप नेटवर्क के लिए फीचर है जिसके अंदर आप ये यूज कर सकते हैं. राइट, इसके अंदर आप ये यूज कर सकते हैं कि अलग अलग स्ट्रक्चर्स पे अलग अलग पाइप नेटवर्क्स आप एक ही स्ट्रक्चर पे ऐड
now
कर सकते
connect
हैं.
multiple pipe networks to a single structure.
So this was the demand for quite some time, wherein I can connect the structure from different pipe networks, right? So that's all from my side. We have almost finished on time. Any questions from your side? You have any questions?